In a small, colorful town, there lived a cheerful girl named Sara who loved cooking more than anything in the world. Every single day, she would rush into the kitchen after school, put on her oversized chef hat, and pretend she was the greatest chef on television. Sara had one big dream. She wanted to become the youngest winner of the famous city cooking contest. Every evening, she watched cooking competitions on TV with sparkling eyes. She admired the professional chefs as they prepared beautiful cakes, soups, and fancy meals under bright stage lights. One day, that will be me, Sara would say proudly. But there was one small problem. Sara's cooking did not always go as planned. One afternoon, she decided to bake chocolate cupcakes for her family. She carefully mixed the batter, added frosting, and placed the tray into the oven. But a few minutes later, boom! The cupcakes exploded inside the oven, sending frosting and flour flying all over the kitchen walls. Sara stood frozen while her little brother burst into laughter. Another day, Sara tried making vegetable soup for dinner. She added spices, stirred carefully, and proudly served the soup to her family. Everyone took one sip, then quickly grabbed glasses of water. The soup was so salty that even the family cat refused to taste it. Sara felt embarrassed, but she never gave up. Every day after school, she practiced harder. Sometimes pancakes flew onto the ceiling, sometimes toast burned black, sometimes pasta became sticky and messy. But Sara kept trying. Finally, the day of the city cooking contest arrived. The giant contest hall was filled with bright lights, cheering crowds, and talented young chefs from all over the city. Some contestants made giant cakes covered in sparkling decorations. Others prepared fancy dishes that looked perfect. Sara suddenly felt nervous. "What if I mess everything up again?" she whispered. When the competition began, Sara tried cooking a complicated recipe she had practiced many times before, but her nervous hands moved too quickly. Flour spilled everywhere. Pancake batter splashed into the air. Smoke rose from her frying pan. The audience gasped while Sara's face turned red with embarrassment. She felt tears forming in her eyes. Quietly, Sara stepped away from her cooking station and sat alone backstage. From her apron pocket, she pulled out a small old recipe card. It belonged to her grandmother. Sara remembered spending happy afternoons cooking beside her grandma in a warm family kitchen. Her grandmother always smiled and said, "Food made with love tastes better than food made to look perfect." Sara looked at the recipe card carefully. It was not a fancy dish. It was a simple homemade family recipe that had been passed down for generations. Taking a deep breath, Sara stood up. "I know what I want to cook," she said confidently. Back at her station, Sara stopped worrying about being perfect. Instead, she focused on cooking with care and love. She chopped vegetables slowly, stirred the soup gently, and smiled while remembering her grandmother's warm hugs and happy family dinners. The delicious smell soon filled the entire contest hall. When time was up, the judges walked over to Sara's table. They looked surprised by the simple dish compared to the fancy meals around it. One judge took a bite, then another. Slowly, their serious faces softened into warm, emotional smiles. "This reminds me of my childhood," one judge said quietly. Another judge smiled and added, "This meal feels like home." Sara's eyes widened in surprise. The judges were not impressed by expensive decorations or perfect presentation.